Anyway, hello and welcome to the first official SVOR press conference. Today we'll be interviewing the Season 1 drivers and one half of the Constructors Champion SV Pagoo, as well as the Season 2 teammate SV Bradford, returning to SVOR, SV Ross, and lastly we will be talking to SV Richard. So first off we will go to the defending champion SV Pagoo. Obviously a fairly dominated season last time out, safe to say. Do you think it will be as dominated by yourself this season, or do you think there'll be much more of a competition this time round?
Well, obviously, Matt joined quite late, and he was one of the very few drivers that could keep up with this. So I'm hoping that he can keep his consistency up, and obviously, I'm gonna have to put a lot more effort in this season, 100%. I was going about half last season, because I was clearly the fastest driver, so I wasn't really putting that much time and effort in. But this season, I'm definitely gonna have to work for it, I think. Constructors, I think me and Brad, we've got constructors, but it's F1. Anything can happen, really. So really, no, I don't think it's going to be as dominating. It's certainly going to be a lot closer than that. And if anything, I reckon Matt, if he pulls his finger out, I reckon he could have me. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Funny enough, you actually mentioned your teammate. The next question, again, obviously a new teammate this season and obviously a new car. Are you happy with the choices this season?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. From what I saw from Brad last season and with the league that we're in, VBR, he's developed so quickly. Every single race, every single week, he slowly starts creeping up to where I am, and I'm just, eventually you might end up passing me. So with Brad improving the way he is, I'm more than happy to have him as my teammate.
I just want to add to that Brad has to be one of the most improved drivers that I have seen come through the field through VVR, especially considering he started in F2, and now he's, I'd say, faster than me at this point. So you've got a good teammate, definitely.
Oh yeah, he's in VVR currently. If I'd had to pin the top four, it'd be Matt, me, Unity, and then Brad and Alba on his day. He's definitely up there as well. He's definitely up there. The top 5 drivers. He's gone from an F2 driver to one of the top 5 drivers in F1. So that's over the span of what? A season in VVR. So.
And last question for yourself. Obviously, last season you started pretty far back at Australia, but you still came home with the first victory of the season. Will you be looking to start the season off with another pretty dominant victory from yourself?
Absolutely. You know me, fuck it. I'm always looking for a win, you know what I mean? So I'm not happy unless I'm near the front, I'm not happy unless I'm at least on that podium. So I'll definitely be looking forward to getting on that podium again. Whether or not I'll win, all depends. But I'm definitely looking forward to the whole season, and definitely looking for the first race of the season with Brad as my teammate as well. Hopefully now that 1-2.
Yeah, well, thank you for your time. We'll move on to your teammate, SV Bradford. You joined SVR pretty late into the season, but you still managed to finish in the top 3 of the standings. What are your hopes for this season?
I'm aiming for that top 2 again. Well, not again, but hoping for that top 2 that I was hoping for last season.
Bold
hoping for a couple more. Yeah, no. I don't want to talk about that race. Just leave that out. But I'm hoping for a top 2 with hopefully John first, because his pace last season was incredible. I don't think I'll be able to top him this season, but as long as I get that 1-2 for Ferrari, I think I'll be happy with myself.
A question, obviously, for yourself. Funny
Question
enough, you
for
said
you
the
both.
question was going to be obviously with your the champion as your team. Do you think you'll be able to challenge him for the top leagues? And obviously, you just answered that, but could we see some team orders come in play with Pagoo coming on top of those, or do you think you're gonna leave it and just see how things go during the race?
Well, we're both respectable drivers. I wouldn't say team orders for I think the first half of the season as we're trying to get ourselves back into the alright, we need to try and just push, try and get those points in the first half of the season while everyone's trying to get into that rhythm. And then maybe when we get to like the last half of the season, we might start seeing team orders, depending on how we're looking in the championship.
Yeah, again, you kind of already answered this question, but obviously with Australia just around the corner, what are you hoping for in terms of result?
Well, as we found out, in like VVR, me and Australia do not go together. Especially in Sector 2. I'm hoping for a podium, but I'm expecting a top 4.
Okay. Thank you. We'll move on to SV Ross. Obviously, only raced a few times last season, and obviously pulled out for personal reasons. You did come away with some podiums, though. What are you hoping for this season?
Hopefully, just try and find consistency. I think that's my main issue, is just trying to find a consistent pace. When I say consistency issue, I've got nothing but 6 paces in BVR since the season started. But again, it's just going to be another chances of maybe getting some podiums, picking them up here and there like I did last year, like I did Italy and Baku and stuff. So yeah, it's just hopefully get through it, and hopefully I doubt I'll be challenging for either constructors or even the championship. With the Johns just that far ahead of everybody, there's no chance of me ever catching them. Might be the odd race where I'll be their own pace of them, like Belgium and BVR last year. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But I'm not having any expectations for anything. I'm just going into it with a clean slate and see what happens.
Yeah,
I
obviously
I believe
do
in you,
have.
Ross. I believe in you.
We
Always
believe
do.
in you. You do have Bonge as your teammate.
Yes.
Whether he actually turns up or not, I don't really know. Hopefully
His
he
new
will.
his new his new job is freeing him up work time, so
Yeah, that's true. Where do
should
you
be good.
reckon you can place yourself within the order of constructors? Obviously, you did just mention with John and obviously Brad, probably most likely going to be dominating. Where do you see
Dominating.
yourself and Bonge fitting into that kind of area?
Well, again, it's hopefully with Bonds and his personal issues being sorted out with the job and stuff, he will race more frequently. So I'd hope maybe for a top 4, top 5 at a push. But like I said, I don't have high expectations for anything to go down. I just want to try and find consistency and hopefully build up upon pace throughout the season. But 5th place, I'd be happy with in the constructors. Maybe a 6th in the
Just
championship.
last question for yourself. With the pace that you showed last season in the brief time you were with us, do you believe you can try and challenge for the driver's title, or do you
No,
think
definitely not.
John will be?
John and like Matt are just that far ahead of me, especially Brad. Like I said, Brad has just come in and is sort of, he's one of the most consistent drivers out there, and he's definitely got the pace. So on my day, I could probably challenge Brad at a push John, but yeah, it's just a matter of just building upon my pace and hopefully trying to get faster at the game. But I have no expectation of challenging for the championship at all. It's not going to happen, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that's the final question. Lastly, we'll move on to SV Richard. Had a pretty decent season, finishing ninth and coming third in constructors. What are your expectations for season 2?
I'm just going to try and keep it clean this season. Just race my own race.
Yep.
Try and keep in the top 10 if I can. I know I ain't going to be able to fight for the lead because I'm not the quickest driver, but I'm consistent, so keep your head down and get on with it.
Key. Yeah, and obviously sticking with the Red Bull, with a new teammate this season, where would you realistically like to finish in the standings?
Hopefully in the top 10, probably a bit higher than 9th. We'll try our best this season.
Well, I mean, there's only 10 teams in the thing, so obviously you'll be in the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, constructors, not drivers, obviously.
Oh, we'll try our best to try and get up to top 5, something like that.
Yeah, I mean there is some pretty strong teams out there, but top 5 I would say is pretty realistic. Thank you. I don't know if you wanted to finish off by saying anything, Richard.
Well, I was going to say, there's no chance of getting into the top 4. I know that much. Not with John and all that lot up top. There's no way.
You never know.
You never know, but
driver changes during the season,
Anything can
you never know.
happen.
John, you're in the Williams now. Sorry. I'm joking.
Ah.
Wait,
yeah,
I get him the team
thank-
in. Yes.
Thank you everyone for turning up today, and good luck for season 2. Obviously, we are back again tomorrow. Actually, funny enough.
Next week. All right, I get an extra
I
week's
was about to say
practice.
next week, but no, we are back for Australia tomorrow. It'll be a very interesting race. We'll obviously have myself commentating, and hopefully Jack should be turning up. But until then, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and goodbye.